Hello YouTube, this is Corey and I'm officially back on YouTube. I just got back into the game right before E3 is about to get started, and today is going to be talking a little bit about E3 and specifically Microsoft and what they're going to be showing off with this Project Scorpio. And in case you are unaware, Project Scorpio is Xbox's brand new Xbox. It's a mid-generation refresh similar to the PS4 Pro, and basically this video is going to be talking about what to expect graphically and frame rates, what kind of frame rates should we be expecting from this new system. And I'm just going to be gathering all the specs that we currently have from this Project Scorpio, and then there'll be a little bit of interpretation along with it as well. So to start off, we're going to talk about the CPU, and the specs that we have currently is it's going to be an 8-core custom CPU, x86, and it's going to be clocked at 2.3 gigahertz. Now this is a big improvement from the Xbox One's current CPU, which was 1.75 gigahertz, and they were 8 cores, a Jaguar. And they're going to be similar, it's going to have a similar architecture, but it's going to be more defined compared to the previous one. And one of the previous bottlenecks for the PS4 Pro was the CPU. Because if you look at the Destiny 2 announcement, they basically stated that Destiny 2 will be running 4K 30 FPS on the PS4 Pro. And the reason why they couldn't get 60 FPS was due to the fact that there's not enough power in the CPU. And if you look at the PS4 Pro CPU, it's an 8-core Jaguar, and they're clocked at 2.1 gigahertz. I'm not sure the official architecture we're going to be having for the Scorpio. Yes, it's clocked at another 0.2 megahertz. So it'll be interesting to see if that little extra bit of oomph can actually push it over to 60 FPS. I'm not sure what other architecture they're going to be using that could also push it to 60 FPS. But for now, it's kind of looking a bit doubtful that we'll see Destiny 2 running at 60 FPS. Most likely it'll be 4K, similar to the PS4 Pro, along with 30 FPS. Now for one of the greatest strengths that the Project Scorpio has to offer, and that's the GPU. The GPU in this system is a true powerhouse. If we look at the specs that we currently have for this GPU, it's going to be 40 customized compute units, and it's going to be clocked at 1172 megahertz. And that's a huge improvement over the Xbox One alone. And we kind of knew that, but this Project Scorpio is going to be around 6 teraflops compared to the 1.3 teraflops we got from the Xbox One. And the Xbox One had 12 compute units at only 853 megahertz. So that's a huge difference in the total amount of compute units and the speed at which the GPU is clocked at. If we look at the PS4 Pro, there is an extra 4 compute units in favor of the Project Scorpio. The PS4 Pro only has 36, and the PS4 Pro is only clocked at 911 megahertz. So you're also seeing more compute units and a higher clock speed. So this should be able to increase the resolution on games that couldn't run at 4K natively on the PS4 Pro, and it should be able to run natively 4K on the Project Scorpio. So that's a huge win for Project Scorpio. If we look at the memory, the Project Scorpio is going to be increasing the amount of memory in it compared to the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro for that matter. It'll be going up to 12 gigabytes, and it's going to be GDDR5. And it's going to have a total bandwidth of 326 gigabytes, which is a huge improvement over the Xbox One and the PS4 Pro. Compared to the PS4 Pro only had 218 gigabytes along with the Xbox One. But the Xbox One, the way it got up to the 218 gigabytes was a little goofy because they invested in the ESRAM, and the ESRAM is a small amount of memory, but it's clocked very fast. But it was very hard for the developers to actually take advantage of it. There's a lot of extra work, and now with this new Scorpio, they made the system a lot easier to develop for, and they just included more memory at a higher clock rate. And we've seen developers over the past couple years now ask for more RAM so they can do more within the game. And RAM's a pretty inexpensive way to upgrade a system and make it more powerful and do more. So now you're probably asking, so we know the specs of the system now. Basically, what should we expect from the Project Scorpio when the games start coming out for the system later this fall? And basically, it's interesting because I don't really know. We don't know all the exact specifications for this. We just have some general specs for the system. So we know for sure that it's more powerful than the PS4 Pro. The PS4 Pro has about 4 teraflops compared to the 6 teraflops the Project Scorpio is supposed to have. And so from that, we can compare the games that the PS4 Pro currently has at 4K and look at the frame rates for the existing games, and then expect that it should be able to achieve at least that and probably more. The thing I'm most worried about is the CPU. I feel like the CPU is going to really limit the higher frame rates, but for sure we should expect 4K games from pretty much every game. I know there's going to be always exceptions to the rule, like for more demanding games, but for the general mass amount of games that come out this year and the years to come, it should at least be 4K, probably 30 FPS, but I'm sure games like Call of Duty, stuff like that, will be able to achieve 4K at 60 FPS in the Scorpio. And we know that the developers from Bungie basically says they can't comment on the Scorpio right now until Microsoft officially announces it and shows off what it can do. But I'm still not for sure if this Destiny 2 will actually be able to hit 4K 60 FPS. I really hope so, because 60 FPS is such a nice experience. I know the PC gamers would just be like, just get a PC, but I have all my friends on Xbox. So we're just going to have to wait and see till we get some more information and developers start speaking out about what the system can do. But we're not too far away from that. We got a couple weeks until E3, and that's when Microsoft will officially announce and talk about Project Scorpio. We don't know the price yet, but the rumors are it's going to be around $399 to $499. So I'm hoping it's closer to that $400 range to compete better with the PlayStation Pro. But we're just going to have to wait. I'm really excited. More gaming news is starting to leak out. Starting to get more news about new games, new consoles, and whatnot. So I'm really excited for E3, and I'll be posting more and more videos as we lead up to it and after E3, giving my thoughts on different stuff as well. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps with my channel, and I'll see you next time.